Well, all the focus now on the northeast. Mizoram election results coming out thick and fast. Well, remember 40 assembly constituencies there. Zoramthanga's Mizo National Front is the party in power, the incumbent, but the Zoram People's Movement seems to be getting the initial leads in its favors. There you have it on your screens, 21 in favor of the ZPM. 11 for the Mizo National Front. Remember, the ZPM won 8 seats in 2018 with a 23% vote share. Obviously identified with several fascinating figures, as our analysts have pointed out, including 2016 Footballer of the Year, one of the candidates for the ZPM, JJ Lapeklua, former Indian footballer there, who's contesting there on a ZPM ticket. Of course, Laldu Homa, the former IPS officer, considered one of the main faces of that party. ZPM there getting 21 leads at the moment. The Mizo National Front, as I said, of Chief Minister Zoramthanga is struggling at 11 seats. Obviously, the Congress has 6 seats there. Coming on your screens there. It's fascinating, interesting. Ratnadeep Chaudhary, my colleague who tracks the Northeast very closely, joining us. Ratnadeep, as we've been pointing out, constituencies are as small as 25,000 voters in some cases. The margins of victory are usually really thin in Mizoram. The initial leads and trends suggest about 21 in favor of the ZPM and 11 in favor of the MNF. That's what we're flashing on the screens. Do you see this going down the wire, or do you pick up an early emerging trend that we can sort of expect to solidify?
Well, these trends that are coming in are from postal ballot, the round one. So these are the initial trends, but this perhaps might give us an indication which way the results would go, because in past that I have reported polls in Mizoram, we have seen that usually the initial trend keeps continuing in Mizoram. So if we go by that, that analogy, then perhaps this is going to give us a trend which might continue further. And if it continues further, then the ZPM might be able to cross the magic figure, just like what MNF did 5 years back, and might be able to form the government for the first time. But it is too early to say this, because these are only trends that also after round one of postal ballots. So we'll have to wait and watch. As you have rightly pointed out, the base is very small. In some constituencies, you have less than 25,000 voters. The margin of victory is at times less than 500 votes, less than 400 votes. So therefore, as each of the round proceeds, we might see some changes there. But this is the trend that we are seeing now is what people have been also talking about. So this is going in the predicted way, at least in terms of the local media circle. They also had predicted in the that the ZPM would have early leads and would emerge as the single largest party. Now, talking about the significance of this is the fact that the kind of campaign ZPM has done, not only in the run-up to the elections, but ever since they emerged in the last election as a joint political platform of smaller parties, and they relegated the Congress from the main opposition position as well. Remember, the Congress was in power till 2018, and after the comprehensive victory of Zoramthanga-led MNF, the Congress could not consolidate in its role as main opposition or build up. Rather, its cadre base shifted to the ZPM. The ZPM organized itself. It organized itself into a registered party, and this just goes to show that there is space for new regional parties in the Northeast. If you consider, what we saw earlier this year in the Tripura election, we saw a new party, Tipra Motha party, emerge just before the election, and they actually become the second largest party after the BJP. In the same way here, we see that the ZPM is actually, eating into both Congress and the MNF vote share. And last year, it was able to get about 23-24% vote, but could not translate it into numbers in the sense that it won 8 seats. But the Congress actually, after getting more votes than ZPM, got less seats. So therefore, with a small base, the vote share perhaps does not matter much. But what matters is the fact that the amount of vote the ZPM will be able to take away from the MNF. Remember, MNF is a party born out of the Mizo National Movement. So there is a sentiment attached to it. And in fact, the old guards in the society still kind of root for the MNF. But what is important here is the 62% voters in the age group of 18 to 40. They are the decision makers, and they are talking about a better governance. And the wave that we saw that ZPM was trying to create was based on young voters. However, the ZPM's base is in the urban areas. If they will have to finally win in Mizoram, they will have to break the bases of the Congress and the MNF in the rural areas. How much they have been able to do that, we'll get to know in a couple of hours. But that is the key. And for the BJP, they are hopeful of increasing their tally. At this moment, it does not look like. But if the BJP is able to increase the tally, Congress increases the tally, and then the national parties actually will become the minor players with the regional parties here in Mizoram. So in the rest of Northeast, the national parties are the major players and the regional parties are the minor players. But this is the opposite scene here in Mizoram, because here two regional parties have been fighting each other, and ZPM, a very new party, talks about an alternative politics. And it seems at this moment, people at this moment, the trend suggests that they are actually leading this race to power.